Are you struggling to find an easy, no fuss way to ensure your meals are packed with nutrition? Do you frequently find yourself feeling overwhelmed or lacking the time to prepare daily meals that fuel your health and
And
vitality?
there lies the opportunity. If you're able to recognize that those are some really serious, bold-faced lies,
And they put it in this fancy packaging and say, oh, it's healthy, it's all natural. It's so natural, it has natural flavoring.
fiber, you're like, oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this episode, let's address the universal challenge that we all face in preparing homemade meals. Well, I don't face, but because you do all the cooking here, but let's address it. That serve as our foundations for your health and well-being. Let's share our top 5 strategies or tips that will actually fuel the body for optimal nutrition to help people out here.
Yep.
So we have completely polar opposite ways we ate
Growing up.
right? Like, when you grew up in Trinidad.
Correct.
Explain your diet and how you grew up.
Mom, processed food wasn't a big thing in our household. My mom cooked pretty much every day, and it was fresh food, plain and simple.
Yeah.
We shopped at farmers markets, and my mom cooked everything. She didn't cook everything from scratch, but a lot of things she made. You?
Yeah, it wasn't that at all. Fresh foods. Now we ate a lot of packaged foods, the cereals, the Captain Crunches for breakfast, the macaroni and cheeses for lunch and dinners. Man, that's what I grew up on, and that was. And I remember going to college, and I put on 15 pounds from all the.
Oh, the freshman 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so we put it on quickly. And I remember a guy told me about it, and so we come together in my upper 20s, your lower 30s, and we brought our differences of being raised together.
Yeah, of the way we ate, yeah, which was totally different. I ate healthy, not as healthy as I do today, but I ate healthy.
Or than me.
Yes. He used to drink, what was the thing he used to drink?
Sodas and Dr. Pepper and
Yeah, and he justified it by saying, I just needed to get me through studying sessions.
yeah. Even I would bring home he hated me for it, but I brought the little canned biscuits.
Oh yeah, those ones with the puppet cans. I don't know what they were called. I don't even know what they're called.
Pillsbury or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Flaky biscuits.
Oh, it drove me bananas.
didn't
I
like
used
it
to be
at
so
all.
mad.
Well, that's the thing, though, because you grow up in this country and you're exposed to all the TV and media, and they just share all this stuff, and it gets quite confusing with all the messages that you get from all the food industries, the big food.
Yes, because they'll put these labels on there: sugar-free, fat-free, high protein. My mom, when we first moved here to this country, she fell for the fat-free.
Oh,
Yeah, every salad dressing she'll buy, it says fat-free.
yeah,
Milk, low fat.
yeah.
Things like that when we drank dairy.
Well, and also too, when I was in kindergarten, I remember eating TV tray dinners. I think they're called.
Really?
Yeah, like Hungry Man or something. And you put them in the oven and you have a little dessert, your vegetables and your meat and gravy and potatoes, what have you.
Everything on one tray.
Convenience.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at home, but now it's convenience on the road. Just pull through, order on your app. I want to have it delivered to me, all the fast foods, and that's what it kind of tends to. Because
Yeah, not once. Let me ask you this. Not once did anybody ever turn over the box and read the label, right?
oh, no.
Probably was different back then, too.
The processed food was probably cleaner, but it was still
Processed food.
processed food and engineered for.
Right.
Yeah. and that's what you get, though, because when you think about processed foods, what that means is you add sugar, take away sugar, add fat, take away fat, add salt, take away salt, and you find that mixture. Yeah.
Take away fiber so you can have a long shelf life.
They take away fiber, and then all of a sudden they say, hey, we add more fiber back into it because it's fortified with fiber. You're like, oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah, you're not thinking they stripped it.
Yeah. Right.
And they put it in this fancy packaging and say, oh, it's healthy, it's all natural. It's so natural. It has natural flavor in.
Oh, I mean, completely. And now you got the buzzwords about vegan, and it just kind of ruined that whole word.
Healthy.
Yeah.
It's called what? Greenwashing.
Greenwashing.
Yeah, they greenwash everything. So look at the box. It's probably light green, nice green color, and the box was made from recyclable material, so it does not look like it was bleached. The box.
Green leaves.
The green leaves.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all to entice you and fool you into thinking this product is healthy.
Fabulous. It's to do wonders for you.
Yeah.
It's the right way to go. Next thing you know, you're getting sick.
Yeah.
And then there lies the opportunity. If you're able to recognize that those are some really serious, bold-faced lies, you're going to be able to take back control of your health and your food.
Okay.
And be able to say, you know what? Because food heals.
Right.
We noticed that. We have lived that.
Yes. But
Right.
what would it take to wake you up to see that?
Well, but you just gotta just open your eyes and stop turning a blind eye. And so when you do that, there's two decisions you'll make. You can go down the processed food way and rely on medicine, or you can say, you know what? No, I'm gonna choose food over medicine.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the opportunity there, because really the foods have all the nutrients that you need in your body.
To survive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess we make it so hard, but it's intuition. It's like it tells you it doesn't need to be that hard, and it's so much information out there. It's confusing, but it's meant to be easy. It's natural foods from the ground, from the earth. You eat that, plain and simple.
It's that simple. And
Yeah.
so I think where people struggle though is it's become a skill.
Okay.
They don't know the necessary steps that you have to do to make this an easy process for you.
But it's second nature. You need food to eat. You feel hungry, you go eat. But the food is natural from the earth. That's what you eat.
Yeah, so we talked about this in different podcasts about the whole food, plant-based type of diets that are minimally processed. I say
Right.
It's hard to get off 100%
Right.
processed,
It
right?
is. It is.
So I think the number one step, once you open your eyes, right, of this framework, we'll look at 5 steps.
Okay.
Right? The number one step is you got to clean out the kitchen,
Yes.
and you did a wonderful job back when I brought home the biscuits and sodas. They were mad at me, the chicken wings, everything, right, up until the point of doing that. I mean, so when people clean out the kitchen, what things do they have to do?
In my opinion, you get rid of anything that's snacks, right? So your chips, your crackers, your cookies, your sweet drinks, anything that's in the middle of the aisles of the grocery store, basically. Taco shells, something simple as that, right? Because it has to last on the shelf for a long time. So anything that's made in a package, for the most part, that has that shelf life, that
So you're so right, because when I go to the grocery store with you, we are hardly ever in the middle aisles. We're
Right.
we start at the vegetable section every
Correct.
single time I'm with you.
correct.
And then we walk around the outside, and if there's dairy or meat, whatever, we skip past that part, and then we may pick up some of our, I don't know, treats with the tofu in that section there, where that may be.
I do go down the bacon aisle to get certain items to bake with, but it's like coconut flakes, right?
Yeah.
That's in the bacon aisle, right? Baking soda, that's in the bacon aisle, right?
Mhm.
But for the most part, the other aisles we stay out of. I make my own salad dressing. You don't, it's simple things like that, right? But it's mainly the snacks and the sweet treats you want to get rid of.
Yeah, even like chips. I love tortilla chips.
Yes.
We've got to a point where we try to find our purest corn tortillas. We cut them up and air fry them in the oven,
Yes.
and they taste so much better.
Yes.
Little stuff like that. No,
Right.
and of course that's another skill on top of this.
Right.
But the first thing is you got to clean your kitchen up, all the processed stuff.
Right. Refrigerator too. That includes the refrigerator.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
look in there for all the flavored yogurts, the ice creams, and all the sweet treats that's in there, the biscuits and everything. That's like he used to have.
Well, yeah, because when like our girls' friends come over, they come. Oh my gosh, your refrigerator is so colorful and green. Yeah,
It's so green.
and then oh, he wants me to drink because all we have is some water and we have some unsweet tea. What do you want? I mean, we don't have soda and all that other stuff.
Right.
So that's all the process stuff. I think a very big one though, especially those people who have more of the morbid diseases, diabetes, heart disease, high cholesterol, maybe got diagnosed with cancer, the big
Parkinson's,
three, yeah, all that is
MS, all those things.
strip your cabinet free of the oils.
Oh yes, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn how to cook without them because that
Yeah.
just leads to more fat, more health problems overall.
Correct. Correct. And oils is very sneaky. It hides in a lot of items. So you may not even think it's hiding in crackers. It's hiding in bread. It's hiding
Yeah.
in chips, obviously.
Sneaky.
It's hiding in everything that you could think of. If you go in there, challenge yourself on going to the grocery store and go down the average aisle, so where the pastas are and where the tomato sauces are, look at the soups and so forth, turn it over and look at the amount of oil that's in there. It's a lot.
It
And
is.
the hummus, everything. Oil is in everything.
Yeah, and after you kind of clean yourself from it, you can actually taste the oils. Like in hummus, a lot of hummus, like, oh, this don't taste right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, our children notice the difference in the
Quickly.
taste since we've cut back on oils.
Yeah.
And even like in the cookies and the bread, you could taste the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's a kind of a upgrade or higher level. I think the first thing first you want to do is just try to learn to stop cooking with oil at home.
Yeah.
First.
Decrease yourself. Yeah. If you say this is too hard for me, just cut it out each time you go to cook. Measure it out. Measure out the oil, teaspoon wise, and try to cut back.
Yeah.
And there's different tips and tricks that you can do, which we're more than happy to share. If this is something you would like to hear more about, we're more than happy to share those with you.
Yeah. Stop frying foods essentially.
Yeah.
You know.
You could water fry or use vegetable broth.
Yeah.
You have options.
Okay, so
What's another one?
that's step one. Well, I'm gonna ask you that because we clean up the kitchen.
Right.
Like, what can I eat? Anytime I can't eat the cookies, I can't eat. I gotta look at the labels and see all the fats, and I gotta come and pull all this stuff out of the processed food. I can't eat. I'm gonna starve.
That's right. See, now you see how food has been bastardized.
Yeah.
You see it now, right? So now you're asking yourself, what can I eat? Well, there's other things you can eat.
So so that's the second part of the framework would be what?
Would be stocking up on the staples.
And when you say staples, what are staples to you? Because you think staple, I'm gonna get staple and stick some paper together,
Not literally. To me, staples are like brown rice, legumes, beans, right? We placed an order recently for a ton of beans, right? That won't last us a long time.
That place is awesome. So what's it called? It's called Web
Restaurant.
Webstaurant.com.
Webrestaurant.com, I believe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then we just love it.
Yeah.
You can buy it. I mean, we got, 50 pounds of beans?
Yes. It
What else
came
we
in a
get?
ginormous bag.
Yeah.
And this will last us for the whole year. And we got different types of beans.
Yeah.
Ideally, we try to go for organic. But I got a bunch of dried beans. And that's a staple in our diet. That's where we get all our protein and our
Carbs,
healthy
starches,
carbs, starches,
vitamins.
everything. Yeah.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say beans, definitely.
So definitely beans. We the friends of our kids, my gosh, they see the vegetables. I mean, we have kale. I love kale now. I love bok choy. Because like, what's bok choy? Man, bok choy is so good. And then we have Brussels sprouts. We have broccoli, a big one in our family.
Yeah.
Cauliflower.
Yeah.
And then what's really cool that you have, because you cleaned out the kitchen and kind of integrated these staples, if you will, is I am really enjoying fresh fruit. I have like 2 or 3 pieces a day.
Okay, yeah.
I used to maybe have like one a month if I was lucky. And that's probably a gummy orange treat from Sunkist or something.
Yeah, fresh food is where it's at.
Oh my God.
In terms of taste and flavor and vitamins, I'm not against frozen food. I'm not. And frozen vegetables. I think those are just as good. But I think in terms of taste and texture, I do like a fresh broccoli over a frozen broccoli. I mean, if I have to eat it frozen, I will. I will. But it's just something about the fresh food. I remember one time I chopped up bok choy, raw bok choy, and put it in the salad, and my sister came over and she was eating that, and she was like, "What is that? What is that in there?" And it's like, I said, "That's bok choy." She goes, "I never thought you could put raw bok choy in a salad."
Yeah.
Yeah, experiment, right?
You know what? That's the thing. You're so modest in the things you know when you actually do. I mean, you have turned your family out, and you
Yeah.
turned me out. I'm part of your family, but you turned your family, your sisters, your mother, just out with the things you do with the staples of foods, and
Yeah.
it's so good.
Juice and everything, but it becomes second nature that I don't even think about it anymore,
Yeah.
right? I try to get the vegetables in, and I get it. And if you can't eat it, cook it, put it in a salad, or put it in a smoothie. There's different ways to get it in.
And when you start eating these staples, when you get like a tomato off the vine that's just in season and ripe,
Oh, it's
it
unbelievable.
turns you out. You're like, is this a tomato?
Yeah,
How come I eat a tomato from the store and it don't taste like this?
because it wasn't in season and it probably travels very far.
Yeah.
Versus if you eat it in season and local, it's a totally different taste and texture. It tastes phenomenal.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I
Yeah,
love
that's one of the reasons why I love the farmer's market during growing season, because the vegetables look so much brighter, better, and prettier and tastier,
that. Yeah.
sweeter. You have, I mean, those of you who do shop at the farmer's market, you know exactly what I'm referring to.
Yeah, and so that's perfect because I think when you talk about stocking up, the third step you have to do is, well, how do I stock up? I don't know what to get. You got to do what? The third one.
You got to get, did we mention whole grains?
Well, yeah, that's part of the staples, whole grains.
Right. That's like your rices, your quinoas, and so
Yeah.
forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to stock it up in containers, and is that what you're referring to?
No, I was thinking more of the fact that, okay, we know we got to eat. We clean the kitchen out. We got the whole grains, we got the fruit, we got the vegetables, we got the whole foods, right? In order to start to eat and really decide to have food over medicine, right? The third step is we have to plan the meals ahead of time
Okay.
to make it a little bit easier.
Yes.
So, because you're always talking about how we plan it out nonstop.
Yes, I plan weekly. I plan out my meals, and I get input from the family. Everyone gets to choose a meal, and I plan my meals from there. And I try to plan whatever I had from last week, what I didn't use up. I try to incorporate that into the meals. Yeah, you plan out your list, and you go to the grocery store, and you try to buy what's on sale, or you go to the farmer's market and see what's in season, and you have your list in hand, and you stick to that list.
So how do you plan though before you go shopping?
Mm-hmm.
You plan stuff out, and so let's say you take it per day. Let's really break it down. You got 7 days a week. The first thing you do is, what's your thought process? Do you have a meal a day? Do you have a couple meals per day? What do you plan?
Yes, I think of it as per day for the 3 meals. I think about breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because we don't eat out often like that.
Okay.
So I try to think about logically the meals that we will need for that week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I try to
Okay.
keep it very simple. We're just not talking about eggs and pancakes and stuff that takes a long time to make, right?
So for a given day,
I'm
for like
thinking-
breakfast, right?
Avocado toast,
Okay, avocado toast.
right, and
All right, and a smoothie,
and a
perhaps.
smoothie, or
For lunch,
yogurt
what would
and
you do?
granola, right?
For lunch, what would you do?
Salad for the kids, sometimes sandwiches,
Okay.
sometimes salads, or sometimes they'll take leftovers.
So that's like 2 or 3 days right there you just said for
Correct.
lunches.
Correct.
Now from dinner, what would it be? Like today we had what?
Sheet pan fajitas.
Which is like a tofu fajita mix wrapped in a tortilla wrap, right?
Correct. Broccoli, peppers,
Okay.
mushrooms, yeah.
Perfect. So you kind of think about each day like that.
Right. And
And you have-
sometimes these meals can cross over into the next day, so you're not cooking every night. So you make enough for 2 days.
Oh, I like that you said that. It's not really a leftover, but a crossover.
Yeah. Because you take whatever
That's
you
nice.
have and you make it into another meal, right? So if like last night we had pinto beans, but I had beans left over.
Yeah.
So I made the sheet pan fajitas and combined it with the beans.
Yeah.
And he ate it like it was the best thing ever. It's like the first time I'm tasting it. And it's like, well, you do realize those beans are from yesterday, right?
Cool. So yeah, so you have a crossover. You
Yeah.
thought about the days. You have
Yes.
a crossover. That
Yes.
way, you're not going to be cooking every single day.
Correct.
And you use all of those staples that we talked about, the whole
Correct.
foods.
Correct.
Now,
And
yeah,
so, and some of the stuff that we do have and that we do buy like in bulk, right? I try to incorporate those into the meals as well. So that's less spending at the grocery store, spending my week.
the rice, the beans,
Correct.
yeah, all that stuff.
Correct.
Perfect. Yeah, because that's the whole thing. You want to force yourself, clean up all the bad stuff,
Yes.
put the good stuff in. Because when you're hungry, you eat.
Right.
And I think we say you plan for 3 meals a day.
Correct.
When you go from you're eating these foods that really don't fuel your body for the proper nutrition, you tend to get more hungry because it's not giving you what you need. And so to transition, I'll say this: if you're eating those staples and it's a whole food plant-based diet without the oils, something called ELMO.
Okay. What
And
is that?
Well, that's when you eat less more often. Right? So, but potatoes should be a staple.
Correct. Yeah.
Each potato is maybe 200-300 calories.
Okay.
Full of fiber, B vitamins, vitamin C's. It has a lot of good stuff.
I love potatoes.
Great potatoes. And so it's gonna be in order to eat 2,000 calories, you're gonna have to eat, my gosh, what, 6 or 7 potatoes. You can't do that. However, it makes you really full. So if you find yourself, my gosh, I'm kind of getting hunger again, well, good. Eat less, more often, all these grains and vegetables. There's no harm at that because of the nutrient density of the foods.
Oh God.
You know what that means?
Yes. Okay. Go ahead. Explain.
Yeah.
That.
So
Explain it.
So if you go to a restaurant and you get this nice sauce over your meal, that may be 500 calories and it doesn't do anything to fill you up. You take a potato, eat that up, it's going to be half the calories and make you full.
Because of the fiber.
Because of exactly, the makeup of it, but that's nutrient density.
Got it.
It's
Okay.
a concept people don't know about. And
Okay.
that's why they get confused from all the stuff they hear in different diets, what have you. Another podcast for another story. So that number 3 is that you want to just plan the meals.
Okay.
Okay, so I think you're kind of getting into it. But once you get planned and you have your list, the next thing you got to do is what?
Once you go grocery shopping and you stick to that list.
You work it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do not deviate from that list. And one way to make sure you don't deviate from the list is to not go to the grocery store hungry.
Eat a potato.
You eat something before you go to the grocery store because you will spend less. If you go in there hungry, you're going to be picking up things you don't need, and then before you know it, all the things that you're not supposed to be eating is going to make its way into the cart. You're human after all, okay? And that temptation is going to be there. So if you eat before you go and you have your list in hand, and whether you do paper or on your phone, carry that list and stick to that list.
Don't get tempted by the cherry strudels or whatever.
Don't.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say you'll get tempted with is buying extra vegetables, which I've known to be, I've done that before.
Well, that's a little different, but you should also definitely stick to that list.
Yes.
Now, one thing is that there's more to getting great foods besides the grocery store, which I think is actually a better place.
Yeah.
And do you know where I'm going with this one?
Farmers market?
Farmers market. Yeah.
I remember we went one in Michigan. It was
Oh
phenomenal.
my God.
Yeah.
Shout out to Holland's Farmers Market. Oh my God, it's so amazing. I'm going back this summer. Oh my Lord.
We love farmers markets. That's what we do. We love going to. I love going to them, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the farmers market is where you're going to get your bang for the buck. It's local, and it didn't have to travel that far to get to you. And it was probably recently picked or harvested, however you want to call it. And yeah, you go there and you eat in season. You're not eating out of season, and it's going to taste so much better.
Cool thing is you support the local community as well,
Yes,
which
you
is
support
great.
the local economy as well, right? And it's like you don't realize that the amount of food you get for that money. So
Yeah, you know what's really cool is when we travel, that's one of the things that we we love doing is highlights like antique shops.
Yes.
We like doing the local community coffee shops.
Yes.
But then we also scope out
The
farmers markets. Actually, you know what we should do?
But
We should like almost do like a little podcast segment, whatever, of how we when we travel, scoping out different podcast, not podcasts, but farmers markets and how we eat, what have you. I think it'd be kind of cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else get excited to go to a farmer's market? I do.
The Google Maps, farmers markets, you know.
I
Holland,
love it. I love it. I love
Nashville.
it. I love it. I love
It is. Okay, so that's number 4. Is stick to that list. It just sounds so simple. However, people don't do it. Last step, you do what?
And you just cook your meals. You spend a day cooking your meals. If you do not have time to cook on a daily basis, because of whatever your schedule doesn't allow for it, you find that one down day, especially if you go food shopping that day, get everything washed and cooked or prepped that day. Get it out of the way. It takes time. However, it saves you time during the week if you do not have that time, but yet it will give you the opportunity to eat healthy to fuel your body. So
That's so good because I talked about the convenient foods growing up and now they're more convenient now, the app and everything.
right.
That takes away that excuse 100%. Like, I don't have time. Well, if you don't have time, then how come we have time and other people who eat like this have time?
Right.
It's just like you said, we plan,
Yes.
we go grocery shop,
Yes.
we stick to the list,
Yes.
and then we cook the meals in a condensed time frame
Yes.
to go throughout.
Yes. So if you want to spend that day cooking your beans, 1 or 2 different types of beans in an Instapot, right? Or you want to bake a couple potatoes and cook your rice and make a big salad and keep it in the refrigerator for the week, right? Those are the type
we
of
always
things.
have a salad in our
I always
refrigerator.
keep one thing you'll always count on is a salad in my fridge.
It's always there.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, where's the salad? What's going on here? Yeah.
I always keep a salad, a big one made, and once we go through that salad, because it's not going to last long, so that's your incentive to eat it up, right? You spent all that money on it. Well, not a lot of money, but you spent money on it. It's your incentive to eat that. You don't want that to go to waste.
Yeah.
You need the nutrients, so keep that in your
Yeah.
refrigerator. And you make a couple dressings and a couple sauces, healthy sauces, and then you can mix and match your meals as much as you want during the week.
Yeah. And a personal example for me is, we say we have our bean burritos on Tuesday. Those beans last pretty much through Friday. And that includes me having
For lunch.
for lunch the following day. One of our kids might have a bean something burrito during the week for lunch or snack, what have you. And then Friday, I have it again for
lunch.
lunch again. So that's really 3 days,
Yeah.
3 or 4 meals
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. So if you go with the intention of making, I could make a lot more beans if I wanted to, but it's not necessary. But if you find that you need it, then obviously you pivot and you say, hey, okay, I need to make more beans so everybody can have that to eat, and you interchange your meals, and so you're not going to get tired of it. And then you can, for me, I would make my vegetables the day I have to cook. So I will steam broccoli, or I will
The additives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will saute bok choy, or I will roast Brussels sprouts.
Whatever, but you got your staple cooked,
Right.
sprinkled in with the fresh stuff that's where it's nice and hot and just ready to eat. Versus a
Correct.
cold
Yeah.
broccoli here to microwave.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then nutrients are like, it's still there, but it's not as strong as if you cook it right
Yeah.
there. So yeah.
Dude, those are again, it's so simple.
Yeah.
Hopefully that breaks it down for people to the logical steps of how to do it. Because I know how I personally feel. I just feel so good. I have a lot more energy now. I eat less than I ever did before. I used to eat whole pizzas and wings and feel so bad and still be hungry an hour later or 2 hours later,
Tired.
whatever was right.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever joint pain I had, I've overcome that. And quite frankly, because of my energy levels, my quality of life has gone through the roof over the past, every year gets better, but over the past 7, 8 years or so of just turning everything around and choosing the food over medicine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How about for you?
I feel so much better. I feel more energized. I can keep going, going, going. I'll never forget one time somebody said to me, "Man, you're running on those steps pretty fast. Oh my gosh!" And it's like, yeah, I got energy. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I feel like it helps me manage my weight, and I feel so good overall. I can't complain.
Yeah.
So
It works.
it works.
It works.
Yeah.
And it will work for anybody who decides to eat the same way and kind of follow this plan to help them get to that level of feeling better, overcoming disease.
Yeah.
100%. That's what it's all about. 'Cause it's all about living longer and better at the same time.
Feeling good, because when you feel good, you can accomplish anything. You can do anything.
When you God, there's a Deion Sanders who said, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. You do good, whatever. I mean, he goes on and on about just feeling good, and it's true. It's contagious.
Well, because if you don't feel good, you're spending a lot of time in bed or on the sofa, and you're not forming relationships, you're not working, you're losing income. It's time with your family, everything. It's
Yeah.
not good. So
Yeah, it's all about that.
yeah.
So those are the 5 steps.
You want to recap it again, real quick?
Well, 5 steps, you can do what?
Clean out your pantry.
Clean out the pantry.
Get rid of the oils.
Get all rid of the oils, get rid of all the processed foods. You can stock up on the staples.
Stock up on the staples.
You can plan ahead.
Plan ahead to food shop and stick to that list.
Yep.
And then prep all your meals
Plan them out,
on one day. So you'll have it for the week. So this way you have no excuses and you're still eating nutritionally sound. And put your foods in healthy, clean glass containers.
Yeah. So it's that simple. Follow those steps, and I can almost guarantee that you'll feel like we have felt over the past our transformation.
Yes.
You start feeling so much better.
Yes.
So, thanks for tuning in.
Until next time.
Yep. We'll see you later.